Welcome back to Genshin Impact with Minpact, today with a new format. The AI is coming in the next few days and many, including me, want together. With this video I want to give you a summary of what materials you need, where to farm them and how to plan your resin the most efficient way. I assume you have enough Mora and XP books on hand and will therefore not include them in this list. All the materials are calculated for level 90 with level 9 on all talents with the least possible drops. Let's start with the easy to get materials, the Handguards and sea Ganoderma, as there are lots of them on the map and can be farmed in multiplayer. There are 155 sea Ganoderma plants all over Inazuma per world, but you need 168. This leaves us with some options. The first one being getting all the plants on your map and then some on a friend's one, or in a multiplayer. Don't forget to ask whether they are okay with you doing so. The following maps are from Reddit. Pause the video or click the link in the description to see them in more detail. The second option is to spread your gathering over a couple of days, which I recommend, as you are not able to upgrade her to max level anyhow if you use your regular resin. For this purpose I personally recommend these routes here, 1 through 3, 5 to 7, 19 and 20. That leaves us with 50 plants. Luckily you can produce 8 more every 3 days in your teapot, which brings us up to 166 after a time period of 7 days. You could get the remaining 2 on multiplayer or use some of the remaining locations. Keep in mind that these plants take 3 days to respawn, that's why it takes 7 days. The other material being Handguards, which have a notoriously low drop rate. There are 243 Nobushi on every map. You need 36 brown, 96 blue and 93 gold Handguards. You should be able to farm the Handguards in a single day. But as they are not your limiting factor, you don't need to rush. If you want a route anyways, check the link in the description. Now we come to the harder part, planning your resin. You need 46 boss items, and assuming that you get 2 per fight, you have to face off the boss 23 times. Multiplying 23 fights with 40 resin leaves us with 920 resin, or a bit more than 5 days worth of resin. Additionally, you need 261 blue and 9 brown scrolls. Assuming you use condensed resin and get the lowest drop rate possible, which is 4 blue and 4 brown, or 5.33 blue ones, you need to do the dungeon run about 50 times, which means 2000 resin. You generate 1 resin per 8 minutes, or 180 per day, so you need about 60 and then some days worth of resin. When to spend your resin. You can only farm the talent books on Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, whilst you can farm the boss on every day of the week. Therefore, I recommend farming the boss 4 times on Monday, condensing resin on Tuesday and Wednesday, whilst also clearing the dungeon 9 times on Wednesday. Repeat the same for the following 3 days. On Sunday, also spend your resin on the 4 dungeon runs. This results in 22 dungeons and 8 bosses per week. So, if you manage your resin correctly, you can farm everything for Yai with the worst possible drop rates in 2.5 weeks. But you should be able to get all the materials in about 2 weeks, as no one has that bad luck. Keep in mind that according to this calculation, you will not be able to do your weekly bosses. If you want to farm the weekly bosses as well, consider to use your fragile resin out of your teapot and make use of an original resin or primogems. The final item you need is from the new weekly Shogun boss. Assuming you get 2 drops per clear and you transform them into the right one using your dream solvent, it takes you up to 6 weeks. Another 3 if you want to crown her. The last things are the Gemstones. With your 23 boss runs, you most probably are not able to get all the Gemstones you need, as its drop are split between Cryo and Electro. If that happens to you, you have 2 options. You could use your Dust of Azov to transform some other gemstone into Electro, or farm either Electro Hypostasis or the Electro Bunny, which only drop Electro gemstones. The latter is recommended, as it drops the boss material for Raiden Shogun and Kujo Sara. So in recap, You can farm the Handguard and flowers in a week if you take your time, but need at least 2 weeks to gather boss and talent materials. Due to the weekly boss being new, you can't transform pre-existing weekly material, meaning it will take you 6 weeks for all the weekly materials at least. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know what to do. Leave me some feedback in the comments if you have some, and subscribe to get notified when a new video hits the shelf. I upload about 3 times per week. See you next time!